In January of 2025, an AI lab announced it had built a top-tier model for a fraction of the usual cost, which sounds like quiet, technical, good news. The stock market read it as a bomb. The world's biggest chipmaker lost more value in one day than any company ever had, because if AI suddenly needs less hardware, who needs all those chips and all those power-hungry data centers? And then something odd happened. Some of the most powerful people in tech did not panic. They started posting the name of an economist who has been dead for over 140 years, and what his old idea predicts is more data centers, not fewer. His name was William Stanley Jevons, and in 1865 he noticed something about coal that people have been tripping over ever since. The more efficiently Britain learned to burn it, the more of it Britain burned. Not less, more. Every improvement in the steam engine, every clever trick that squeezed extra work out of a lump of coal showed up in the national ledger as extra coal consumed. What I want to show you is why that keeps happening, with a curve that runs from Victorian coal straight through the light bulbs in your ceiling to the data centers going up right now. It is the same shape every time, and once you can see it, a lot of confusing headlines get suddenly, almost embarrassingly simple. Here is the puzzle exactly as Jevons found it. For decades, Britain's engineers had been making steam engines dramatically better. The early machines were so wasteful that you could only afford to run them parked on top of a coal mine, gulping fuel that was nearly free. Then came better designs, and each generation of engines did the same work on far less coal. Common sense says, better engines, less coal. Britain's coal would last longer. Everyone could relax. What the numbers said instead was that coal consumption kept climbing, decade after decade, right alongside all that wonderful efficiency. Jevons put it bluntly, expecting fuel efficiency to mean less fuel burned, he wrote, was a confusion of ideas. The very contrary, he said, is the truth. So, walk through it from inside one decision. Say, a mill owner in 1860. An engine that burns half the coal doesn't feel, to her, like an environmental achievement. It feels like a price cut. Steam power just got 50% off. And what do people do when something useful gets cheaper? They buy more of it. Suddenly, a steam engine makes sense in her second mill, the one where the old engine never paid for itself. It makes sense in the pump down at the dock, in the little workshop across town that could never afford steam at all. Cheaper steam meant railways could run more trains, ironworks could smelt more iron, which took more coal, and every new engine, each one thriftier than the last, joined a crowd of engines that was growing much faster than their appetites were shrinking. Efficiency didn't ration the coal. Efficiency was a discount coupon for the coal. And the savings leak out through 3 doors at once. Door 1, you use the thing harder. The engine that is cheap to run runs all day. Door 2, new uses become worth it. Places where steam was a luxury now find it a bargain. Door 3, the sneaky one. Whatever money you still save doesn't evaporate. It gets spent on more production, more machines, more coal somewhere else in the economy. None of those people are being wasteful or greedy or short-sighted. Each one is responding perfectly sensibly to a price that just fell. That is all the paradox is. Nobody decided to burn more coal. Millions of people decided that steam was finally cheap enough, and the coal followed. Because one engine burning half the coal is a saving. 10,000 new engines, each burning half the coal, that is not a saving. That is an industry. If that still sounds like a quirk of Victorian smokestacks, look at the thing you did to your own ceiling. Artificial light is the cleanest receipt humanity has ever kept. For most of history, light was luxury spending. In the ancient world, a full day's wages bought you roughly 10 minutes of decent light, and thousands of years later, it was still dear enough that night, for most people, was simply dark. And they went to bed. Then came gas lamps, then the electric bulb, then fluorescent tubes, then LEDs, and over 2 centuries, the price of light collapsed to a tiny fraction of what it was. It is one of the steepest price drops in economic history. Did we bank those savings? Did we keep our candle-sized ration of light and pocket the difference? We lit the entire planet. Streets, parking lots, stadiums, office towers glowing empty at midnight, a reading lamp in every room, a bulb in the fridge, a screen in every pocket. Satellites that measure the Earth at night found that even in the years when the world was busily swapping its old bulbs for efficient LEDs, the planet's artificially lit area did not shrink at all. It kept growing, a couple of % a year, and got brighter besides. We never actually wanted to use less light. We wanted light to be cheaper, and cheaper means more. Now, before this turns into a party trick that explains everything, let me be honest about the machine's limits, because this is where careless versions of this idea go wrong. Your LED bulbs really did cut your electric bill. Efficiency really does save energy in the place you installed it. Your house did not secretly start using more power the day you changed the bulbs. The rebound happens at the scale of everybody. Some of the savings get eaten as we all use more, and how much gets eaten varies. Often it is a chunk, sometimes it is a small bite. And in a few famous cases, coal in a booming industrial Britain, light across 2 glowing centuries, demand was so hungry that the savings were swallowed whole, and then some. That last case is the one with Jevons' name on it, not a law of nature, a warning about what happens when you make something the whole world wants dramatically cheaper. By the way, if this is reminding you of highways, build a wider road, watch it fill with cars, you have good instincts. Economists know that one as induced demand, a close cousin of today's story. A wider road invites new traffic, a thriftier engine invites new consumption, different lever, same appetite underneath. And once you carry this home, some quiet mysteries in your own budget start to talk. The obvious one first, your fuel-efficient car. The sticker promised half the gas money. But a car that is cheap to drive is a car you say yes to more often. The longer commute you accepted, the weekend trip that stopped feeling expensive, the errands you no longer batch. Across whole countries, as engines got thriftier, a good chunk of the promised savings quietly turned into extra miles and bigger cars. Nobody cheated, per mile, driving got cheaper, and cheap invites, yes. Same with the house. Efficient heating tends to become a warmer house, not just a smaller bill. We take part of the gift in comfort. The efficient screen became the wall-size screen, and then a second one in the bedroom. Whatever the gadget saves, the household finds a way to enjoy. Airlines ran the whole script in fast forward. Every generation of jet engines sips less fuel per seat, and for 50 years the savings kept turning into cheaper tickets, and cheaper tickets turned into a planet that flies more than it ever has. The thriftier the engines got, the fuller the sky became. And that is also the story the tech bosses were telling with their dead economist. Make AI 10 times cheaper to run, and you do not get 1/10 the data centers. You get AI stuffed into everything, every app, every search box, every spreadsheet used by millions of people who yesterday found it too expensive to bother with. Whether that ends with the grid straining or with something cleverer, nobody honestly knows yet, and this video is not in the prediction business. But notice which bet those companies are making. They are betting that cheaper never means less. It is the same bet a Victorian mill owner made about coal, and so far, history has mostly paid it out. Which leaves you with just one question worth carrying out of this video. Whenever a headline promises that some efficiency breakthrough will slash how much energy, or fuel, or computing power the world uses, ask what Jevons would ask. What happens when it gets cheaper? Sometimes the answer really is savings, but if it is something everybody wants more of, the savings have a way of going shopping. Back in 1865, Jevons was genuinely worried. He thought Britain's whole roaring economy stood on a resource it was devouring faster every year, precisely because it kept getting better at using it. But tucked inside his gloomy arithmetic, there is a strangely warm fact. The reason efficiency never seems to shrink our appetite is that every time something essential gets cheaper, more people finally get to have it. The savings did not vanish. They became lit streets, and warm rooms, and cheap travel, and libraries that fit in a pocket for millions of people who used to be priced out of all of it. Efficiency never promised us less. It promised us more for the same money, and that, so far, is the one promise the numbers say it has kept. So when the next breakthrough arrives promising to make everything smaller, cleaner, thriftier, you will know to watch, with a little smile, for the world to answer the way it always has. Wonderful. Now we can afford to want bigger things,